Hello everyone, DMFF here, and today I am doing a deck tech for my domain format deck, Chaos Grepher Chaos. And as you see here, Chaos Grepher is our deck master. While it's face up on the field, it's also a dark attribute, allowing for the domain deck to be able to fall within both light and dark regardless of archetype or type. You can discard a light or dark monster to send a light or dark monster with a different attribute than the discarded monster from your deck to the graveyard. But for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon monsters with the same name as the one sent to the graveyard by this effect. This is the starter for the Chaos strategy. And alongside this, there is a bunch of Chaos monsters that banish a light and a dark from the graveyard, sometimes more, sometimes only one. And here they are. This is the suite of Chaos monsters. Firstly, being Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning, as good targeted banish removal or multi-attacker. Chaos Dragon Legionnaire, which is great for multi-removal, special summoning, or hand rip. And it's, multifaceted in that way, which makes it very strong, in my opinion. Next, we have Chaos Emperor, the Dragon of Armageddon, which is basically a retrained Chaos Emperor dragon that functions very similarly, but has a little bit of recursion built into it. Chaos Nephthys as an interactive choice. The Chaos Creator for a little bit more recursion. Chaos Daedalus for some field spell shenanigans. Chaos Hunter as a floodgate to stop our opponents from being able to banish cards. Light Pulsar Dragon, which is good for grabbing that Dark Flare Dragon in this case. So the Dark Flare Dragon, Light Pulsar Dragon package. Chaos Sorcerer for targeted banish removal. Chaos Betrayer for an additional body that can be special summoned from the graveyard and also banish a card from the graveyard. The Black Dragon Collapse Serpent and White Dragon Wyver Burster package for bodies and a bit more consistency. Chaos Mirage Dragon is an excellent tuner for the deck. Chaos Valkyria allows for a little bit more consistency and an additional body on the field. Chaos Witch is a good token generator that is able to create tuner tokens when it's banished from the graveyard, so it's an excellent choice to be sent to the graveyard with Chaos Grepher. Phantom of Chaos to be able to become anything within our deck that's in the graveyard. Shell of Chaos and Core of Chaos are the final pieces of the monster package of Chaos monsters to be able to go into level 6s quite easily. To round out the rest of the monsters in the deck, we have some removal and hand traps. We have Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere mode to be able to tribute 3 monsters at once. And if they don't use it for anything, it can come back to us and be used for the Winged Dragon of Ra to special summon it from the deck, which is actually a pretty good combo. Otherwise, the Winged Dragon of Ra will most likely just be used as discard fodder or something along those lines. We have the Bestial Lubellion alongside Bestial Baldrake, Bestial Druis Worm, Bestial Magnemut, and Bestial Saronir as a good bestial package for bodies and for a little bit of hand trap and graveyard removal. We also have Dark Hole Dragon, which can trigger when things are destroyed on the field, can special summon itself, and then get you a Dark Hole from the deck, which we do also run a copy of Dark Hole, since it destroys all the monsters on the field, as opposed to Raigeki, that only will destroy all monsters on one opponent's field. We have the Iris Sword Soul that will actually be utilized with one of our extra deck monsters, Despian Lulu, that will actually special summon the Iris Sword Soul from the deck. Radian, the multi-dimensional kaiju, removal, solid removal at that. Dimension Shifter, which is really only good once. Like, if you get it in your opening hand, then it's great. Otherwise, it's something that you're going to want to be sending with Chaos Grepher. We have Dark Honest and Light Honest for combat, hand traps, and finally, to round out our monsters, we have Effect Veiler for a solid effect monster, negation, and a hand trap. As for the spells in the deck, we have Branded Regained, as it is exceptionally good in any Chaos deck, since it is recursion and draw power on a continuous spell. Burial from a different dimension to recur some of our banished monsters back into the graveyard. Called by the Grave to help alleviate hand traps. Change of Heart is an excellent staple spell card. Chaos End is essentially another dark hole in this deck. Chaos Seed is more banish recursion, except it gets added to your hand. Chaos Space is awesome draw power, as well as being able to search for the light or dark monsters that you need. Chaos Zone is the premier field spell in the deck, and also recursion in a special summon form. Double or Nothing actually pairs well with Utopia and Utopia Double, so we're going to be doing that little package, the Double or Nothing Utopia Double package, as we do have a good number of level 4s that can be brought out very easily and can quickly take down an opponent if need be. Duality is a card that I feel like just keeps getting better as more things get printed, is excellent recursion and special summon. Giant Trunade is an excellent catch-all spell and trap removal that removes to the hand, so then that way if we have any continuous spells we don't want to destroy, we can send them back to the hand. Gold Sarcophagus is just a tutor that we have to get back on our second standby phase, but we can also banish things with Gold Sarcophagus and get them back to our hand with other cards. Graceful Charity, excellent card that allows you to draw 3, discard 2, is excellent fuel for the deck. Harpy's Feather Duster for solid back row removal of a single opponent. Monster Reborn the monster. Painful Choice, awesome card for Chaos, being able to choose the 5 most ideal targets. One of them gets added to your hand, 4 get added to your graveyard. It's just more fuel to the fire. Pot of Acquisitiveness is basically just another Burial from a different dimension, except you shuffle them into the deck instead of the graveyard, and then you draw a card. Pot of Greed, what does Pot of Greed do? Raigeki for a solid blanket removal of one opponent's field. Soul Absorption is basically how we get our survivability, as we're constantly banishing cards. If we have this on the field, we're going to be gaining 500 life points for each card banished, so we'll be able to have some survivability with this card. Now on to the traps. We have Branded Beast, which is an excellent card for Bestials. Infinite Impermanence is another monster effect negate hand trap, or can also be set onto the field. Return from the Different Dimension can be an excellent closing tool as well, to be able to get back a bunch of our banished monsters, special summon them, swing, then they all get banished again. Skull Layer is another card that is going to be solid removal for the deck. If we need to banish some monsters from the graveyard, Skull Layer is there for us. Then we have Solemn Judgment and Solemn Strike for 2 solid counter trap cards. A catch-all, and 1 for monster effects and special summons. Finally, we go on to the extra deck. I did cover Despian Luluwalith a little bit, but we also have Bestial Dispater as an excellent extra deck monster with solid stats and the ability to destroy or negate monster effects. Chaos Angel, another excellent chaos and generic synchro monster that the deck is a must-need for, and it also has excellent stats. Chaos Archfiend is not quite as good as Chaos Angel, but is a welcome addition to the deck as well. Chaos Ruler, the chaotic magical dragon, is fantastic to be able to dump cards and grab a light or a dark monster from the top 5 excavated cards. Black Rose Moonlight Dragon is a solid removal tool for special summon heavy decks. Golden Cloud Beast Malong is basically just a tuner synchro monster that can modulate its level. Metaphys Horus is an excellent tool that usually is going to be targeting one other face-up card on the field to negate its effects, which is fantastic. And finally, we have Dark Dimension Soldier, just another fairly solid Chaos Synchro monster. Then we have our Xyz package, and we're actually going to start with number 97, Draglubion. You can easily go into that as we have multiple level 8 monsters in here that can be brought out very easily. Go into Draglubion, and you can either make like Hope Harbinger if you need to, or you can go into Neuron Dragon to be able to close out games. As you see here, there are multiple ways to close out the game, so then that way we can kill all 3 opponents and not just be stuck dead in the water. But beyond that, we have the Hope Harbinger, which is a solid spell card negate with a solid body. We have Photon Strike Bouncer, which can negate the effects of monsters on the field and inflict some burn damage. And that is all, other than Utopia and Utopia Double, which were mentioned earlier. But that's the deck. Let me know what you think about my domain deck down in the comments section, and maybe let me know what you have for your domain deck. Let me know what you have for a Deckmaster, and let me know how you enjoy this format so far. I've been having a ton of fun with it, and I plan on, hopefully in the future, getting some really awesome content of my group having a domain format duel. If you want to see more deck techs, specifically for like my Playgroups pod or one of my other decks that I have for domain format, let me know down in the comments section below. But anyway, pass this along. Make sure we get a whole bunch of people enjoying domain format. It truly is an awesome format, and I would love to see it grow. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.